Thank you all for coming to the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate webinar with the University of Illinois College of Education. While we begin, you can go ahead and should be able to type in the chat. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know a little bit about you, why you're interested in the program. I'm also going to start, I have two polls here that I'm going to start for everybody. I'd like to know how you learned about the information session, the webinar today. And then I have another question about what's your highest degree that I will ask in a little bit here after people have had a chance to do that. And that just lets us know a little bit more about the audience that we have today so that we can make sure to get everybody's questions answered and stay relevant. The Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program is what we're here to talk about today. So thank you all for joining us. Just a quick overview of things. So I'm going to finish up with some welcome and introductions. We'll move on to certificate and program overview. Then we will talk a little bit about both of the classes in the certificate program, talk about how you can go from MasterTrack to Masters of Education, how to enroll in the certificate program, and we will have a Q&A at the end. Throughout the entire time, you can still ask questions in the chat. So feel free to post questions if you have in there. But we will also have time at the end of the presentation to answer some of those questions. So I did want to just briefly introduce who we have here today. I am Travis Giffen, the Assistant Director of Online Programs. We have with us Professor Hubrick. She can raise her hand if everybody can see her. And then we also have Director of Online Programs, Sangeeta. And then we have our Online Student Advisor, Brianna. And then we have our student coordinator, Gina Poff. So here is just a brief overview of the Office of Online Programs. We're here to support students throughout their online program journey, and that includes everybody in the MasterTrack program for instructional design. You might hear from us on occasion. If you have questions, you can also reach out to us and we can help you, in addition to the Coursera support staff that are also available to help with the program for registrations, questions about courses, what to do next. We're here for that. You also will, as a student in the program, hear from us on student events and different activities that you can participate in as an online student in the College of Education. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Sangeeta.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sangeeta Gopalakrishnan, and I'm the Director of Online Programs for the College of Education here at the University of Illinois. I want to welcome you all for coming to our session. I'm really happy that we have a large audience here. So we're really happy you were able to participate live today. So I want to give you a quick overview of the program about the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program. And as Travis said, there'll be plenty of time at the end, we hope, for question and answers. So hold on to your questions. We're going to cover a lot of the frequently asked questions here. So I'll begin with an overview. You'll hear a little bit more about details as we move along. So the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate Program, what will you be able to do when you complete the program? So you will learn to solve real-world learning and performance challenges. You'll learn to integrate technology with today's learning environments, and you will master key concepts in instructional and training systems design. So the program consists of two courses. So that's EPOL 472 and EPOL 483. Again, you'll learn a little bit more about these two courses from Dr. Hubrick. So each of these courses, they are at the graduate level and they have 4 credits each. So that's EPOL 472 with 4 credits and EPOL 483 with 4 credits. So totally, you will earn 8 graduate credits when you complete the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate. You will be able to apply these 8 credits to an online master's program or to the online doctorate program to the appropriate online master's program, the appropriate online doctoral program, I should say. And we'll give you a little bit more information about how you can do that later on. So again, a quick overview. What do you need to start the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate program? You need a bachelor's degree. What does it cost? Both the courses together for 8 credits, you'll be paying $2,384. How long does it take to complete? You could complete it in as little as 4 months, or it could take as many as 7 months to complete. You will earn degree credits, and both these courses involve live sessions, weekly live sessions, and they involve hands-on projects. So that's a quick overview of the program. And where do our students come from? What settings do they come from? So we have students that come from higher education, from healthcare, from IT, from business, K-12, from the military, and so on. This is not an exhaustive list of settings from where our students come from, but this is just to give you an idea that training design really applies to people working in any field where training, learning, and instruction are involved. What kind of job titles or what kind of careers can students look at after they finish the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate? So some of the job titles for our students when they complete are instructional designer. Some of them become curriculum developers, e-learning specialists. You can become a trainer. You can work in training and development as a specialist. You can become the manager of a training and development division. You can become an instructional coordinator. So again, this is not an exhaustive list of job titles, but this is just to give you a sense of the types of job opportunities that are available upon completion. So now I'm going to invite Dr. Hrubeck to give you more information about the faculty and the 2 courses.
Thank you, Sangeetha. Hello, everyone. It is really a pleasure to be with all of you here today. Again, my name is Dr. Debbie Hrubeck, and I am the adjunct lecturer for the Department of Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership at UIUC. And I'm also, I work full-time as the Senior Process Improvement Learning and Development Specialist for another Big Ten here in Columbus, Ohio, where I reside. I earned both my master's degree in human resource education and my doctorate with UIUC, and my research interests focus on the meaning of work and meaningfulness and engagement in the world of technology. I have a breadth of experience in strategic learning and development, teaching, instructional design, and workplace training across industries, higher education, healthcare, government, and corporate. And I'm privileged, I'm very privileged to be able to follow my passion for exploring and creating creative ways to bridge the gap between research, teaching, and practice, living in both of those worlds. So, yep. There I am. So now that you know a little bit about me, I did want to take a minute and talk to you about 2 of our esteemed faculty who were instrumental in bringing the MasterTrack certificate program to UIUC and Coursera. And that's Dr. Grace O, and Dr. David Huang. I have been privileged myself to learn from them. They were part of my dissertation committee, and so it was just a real privilege to be able to learn from them. They have a wealth of research within the field of instructional systems design, learning theories, cognitive learning theories. Sorry, this just popped up. Dr. Grace O is the Associate Professor in the Department of Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership. And again, she has an array of professional experiences as an instructional designer, HRD specialist, evaluator, and consultant. She teaches courses on instructional design and training systems design. She's taught this EPOL 472 many times since its inception. She is also well-versed in learning technologies, online teaching and learning, adult and professional education, program evaluation, and management of e-learning. And Dr. Huang is also he teaches the EPOL 483 course. He is currently the professor of the Department of Education, Policy, Organization, and Leadership. And his academic background consists of material science and engineering, learning design and technology, and executive business administration. He has conducted several interdisciplinary projects for instructional and research purposes across different contexts as well. Dr. Huang investigates learning engagement and technology acceptances in various workplaces and studies, instructional effects and efficacy of gamification, socialization, and open distribution of technology-enabled and enriched learning experiences. So his course focuses primarily on using technology as tools to help support and create engaging learning environments. Next slide, please. After me. There we go. So a little bit of the course information, just taking a closer look. The first course, if you are going to start at the beginning, is EPOL 472, and that's Instructional and Training Systems Design. This course is very dynamic. You'll learn key components of instructional training systems design, guided by instructional design models and various learning. Let me move this here. Various design models that are rooted in various learning and instructional theories. So behavioral theory, cognitive theory, constructivism, several different theories that are grounded in instructional systems design. This course in particular will prepare you to select, organize, and develop effective instruction and training. You will gain a very deep understanding and practical understanding of how people learn cognitively and emotionally, so that the development of learning and content and design will be more tailored and meaningful and engaging in your development of instructional design projects. Next slide, please. So a part of EPOL 472 is the core course for designing an instructional solution for learning and performance challenges. So whether you are familiar with workplace training, or whether you are K through 12, whether you have taught in higher education, you will focus on a very practical project for performing for a performance solution or a learning solution to a particular challenge. And that will involve an instructional design project. In the course, we will also focus on case study scenarios on instructional design and e-portfolio development. And I'll talk a little bit more about each one of those primary components here in a little bit. But if you look over to the right of your screen, you'll see that there is a wheel within a wheel. So foundational to this course are the concepts and theoretical foundations to instructional design. We'll look at using the ADDIE framework, which you see here. If you look over and kind of go clockwise, you'll see analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. And we'll focus on each one of those key areas of the ADDIE framework. If you look at ADDIE is just an acronym for each one of those main components. Analyze is the A, design is the D, develop is the D, the I is implement, and E is evaluate. So we'll look at each one of those components as we go through and build your instructional design project, as well as having course class live activities, looking at specific case study scenarios, and eventually we will compile all of those into a really great professional e-portfolio that you will develop as the result of this course, and it also threads into EPOL 483. Next slide, please. So let's look at each one of those components a little more individually. The instructional design project, we will start right off the bat. We have 8 weeks. It is an accelerated format, but you'll work as a group. Now, don't be too nervous about, oh no, group work. All the students that I've had in the past have had very rewarding experiences with their group project. Yes, it's challenging, but it's also just very rewarding. At the end, everyone has had just really great experiences. And I will say this, that instructional designers do not work in isolation. So group work is very important in this whole process, because you will work with subject matter experts. You will work with different people across your organization when you are looking to develop training and design. If you are looking to develop, even if you are a teacher and you want to maybe collaborate with other teachers in the same grade for developing a different curriculum, it's very applicable. So your instructional design project will start right off the bat. We do understand that everybody is from different geographical locations, so we try to group you within workable timeframes, close to different timeframes depending on what country you're in. So we do try to work with your groups in that sense to make it a little bit easier on you when you're working in a group and when you're trying to manage your own competing priorities. The instructional design project, you will take it from start to finish. You will analyze your learning context, you will analyze your learners, you will develop your instructional design to solve a particular training challenge or problem. And we'll talk more about that in the class. It can be something that's very relevant to your current workplace situation, or it can be something as simple as a health and wellness training module. So the world is your oyster, and so I hope that you think that that's a pretty exciting thing. It does give you very practical experience to take with you, and like I said, we will showcase that in your e-portfolio development. Another major component is instructional design case scenarios. We'll be doing a lot of that in our live class sessions, where we'll actually have discussions about a case study and analysis, where we'll look at different components, and you will work with your groups during that class time to analyze a component and hone your instructional design skills as part of those group activities. And then e-portfolio development is the other primary assignment. And this you will work to establish at the beginning of the class, but then you'll add your instructional design components to that. And the purpose of this is so that at the end of these 2 courses that you take, you will have a professional e-portfolio that you can present to potential employers. And I will say that this is a very important component of the courses. And students do really like the ability to be creative when developing their own e-portfolios. It also gives them a tool that they can share with potential employers. And I will say this as someone that's in the field, and when I finished my PhD and I was in the job market out there, employers do enjoy seeing e-portfolios. They do want to see samples of your work. And so this is a very important component of the course for your professional development and presenting yourself. Next slide, please. So here I told you a little bit about the instructional design project. You will be asked to design and develop an educational program. It can be a workplace training program. It can be a program in higher education, K through 12, whatever you see, wherever you see a learning need might exist, and you will have a target audience. You will play a key role in conducting the front-end analysis, defining your learning objectives, selecting the relevant technologies and learning strategies for developing your program, and developing those learning materials, those artifacts. And then we'll take a close look at evaluating your design outcomes. Next slide, please. And the individual case study scenarios, like I said, we will work primarily during class time with your scenarios. There's 4 case scenarios. One is the analysis scenario, where you'll be analyzing a new training and development project for managers. Scenario 2, you'll do a macro design decisions for new trainings for associate project managers. And then scenario 3, it's an implementation scenario, can change management process, reveal underlying concerns. So we'll take a look at that. And then the last one is the evaluation scenario. Low evaluation participation rate will be the problem. And so we'll look at each one of these components, and we'll look at what type of solutions we might be able to apply based on our learnings during the week with our videos, our readings, and our class activities. Next slide, please. For EPOL 483, the Learning Technology course, this course aims to develop learner skill in identifying, selecting, and justifying the implementation of learning technologies in the overall e-learning environment and technology-enriched and enabled learning environment design implementation, and evaluation process. The course enables learning to be aligned with different learning theories, instructional system design models, existing learning technologies, and the learning environment design blueprints. So together, those all work to solve organizational learning performance problems across contexts. Not all e-learning technologies are created equal. There's certain learning theories that help us develop effective learning modules in an online learning environment or even in the classroom. We'll look at different theories such as cognitive load theory and how we can minimize that cognitive load using technologies in different effective ways. And you'll explore on your own some of those different types of technologies. Next slide, please. So here, this gives you kind of a little bit a better idea. So this is situated in e-learning and technology enriched and enabled learning environments. We'll be exploring learning technologies. We'll design case study. We'll look at design case studies on learning technologies. So we'll kind of take what we've learned in 472 and apply some of those case study technologies as well. And then again, the primary e-portfolio development, you'll incorporate some of those same learning principles into your e-learning portfolio. So when you're looking at learning technologies, will be, if you look at that blue graphic there, it's learning and design technology. Learning with technology, we'll look at the theories, frameworks, and models for designing with learning technologies. And then we'll look at the evolution of learning technology and immersive learning environments, and then trends and values. So all of those things we will be covering in EPOL 483. It's a pretty exciting area, especially today with AI and virtual reality and augmented reality. A lot of those things organizations are starting to look toward and develop, and it's exciting. I know in my own experience, we are exploring some of those things at the university that I am currently working at, which is very exciting. Next slide, please. So again, the three major assignments for EPOL 483 are exploring learning technologies, the design case studies on learning technologies, and the e-portfolio development. And in addition to the major assignments in both courses, there will be some additional readings that will be assigned, as well as some asynchronous postings as well. Next slide, please. And for the design case study scenarios for 483, the first scenario will be looking at converting company regulations and policies into interactive e-learning environments. I know I just designed an e-newsletter that we are doing for our current department. It's a large department, and if you have ever gotten newsletters and they've ever gotten lost in your email, we are trying to be a little bit innovative when it comes to that and making it much more entertaining and engaging. So we'll talk more about that in 483. Scenario 2 will look at fostering safe and inclusive workplace cultures through firsthand experience. And scenario 3 will be looking at improving transfer of learning and performance to various contexts. Next slide, please. And again, the e-portfolio development throughout the MTC course sequence, you will develop your e-portfolio. which you can use to demonstrate your professional competencies as an instructional designer of various learning and training systems. So this is your takeaway as a professional instructional designer. The skills that you will learn in both courses will equip you very well to be able to present your work, to be able to understand the language of instructional design and the theories behind how you design instruction that is both engaging and can easily transfer into whatever learning environment you are designing that instruction for. Next slide, please. I think that was it. Yes, so thank you very much. And I am looking forward to potentially having some of you in our 472 class starting here within just a few weeks. Nice to meet you all. Thank you. Travis?
Yeah, and I'd like to introduce, hand things over to Brianna.
Hi there, my name is Brianna Davis. I'm the online student advisor. And now that we have taken some time to discuss the course content and you've gotten to know a little bit more about the two classes that you'll be taking as a part of this program, we'd like to take just a few slides to talk about the program format and the way in which the courses will be delivered to you as a student. Next slide, Travis. Thank you. So our classes are hosted entirely online and they revolve around weekly synchronous sessions. You'll find that collaboration is key in this program, and our synchronous sessions really offer a great opportunity for you to interact with your colleagues and professors live and in real time. This allows students to engage in group work in a really authentic way that is conducive to a more enriched learning experience. Additionally, our students will have access to necessary supports from our instructors via channels such as office hours in that same fashion. So our weekly synchronous sessions meet one night per week from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. The course schedule is available online, which will show the days during which the courses will meet. Currently, we are scheduled to host our courses on Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time, but that is certainly subject to change from one term to the next. So just be mindful of that as you move into the coming semesters. As a student in the Coursera Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate program, the first 2 live sessions are required, but we certainly encourage our students to participate in the other class sessions as well. The synchronous sessions are really the best way for you to get the most out of your experience in these courses, as they're going to allow you the opportunity to interact directly with your instructors and your peers, and it allows you the opportunity to ask questions in real time. And as previously mentioned, the MasterTrack certificate courses can stack and serve as a pathway to our Master of Education in Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership. So essentially that means that if you would like to earn your master's degree at the College of Education at the University of Illinois after you have concluded your MasterTrack certificate, you can apply the 2 courses that you've taken to the Master of Education program. So for your reference, the completed coursework can be applied to any of our concentrations that you see listed here, which are all offered again as a part of our Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership Master's program. If you are interested in learning more about our master's programs, I encourage you to visit education.illinois.edu/online. There you will be able to learn more about our master course requirements and how that MasterTrack certificate can really help to form a pathway for you to earning your master's degree. I would just like to note that if you're interested in pursuing your master's degree, we would encourage you to first complete your MasterTrack certificate. And then once you've concluded that program, you can go ahead and apply to the master's program. Doing it that way just allows you to take full advantage of the 2 discounted MasterTrack courses that are offered by Coursera prior to enrolling as a degree-seeking student at the college. And I will turn it over to, I believe, Gina.
Good afternoon. I will be discussing how to enroll and pricing for the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate. A minimum of a bachelor's degree is required to enroll in the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate program. The total cost of the program is $2,384. This is a discounted rate, which is $298 per credit hour. Once you enroll, you'll pay the University of Illinois for each Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate course. If you enroll in both courses at the same time, then you will be assessed the fees for both at the same time. If you enroll in both at during separate semesters, or if you enroll in one at the beginning of the semester and the second course closer to the deadline for the part of term B, then you'll be assessed those separately. So it all depends on when you register for the courses, when you will be charged for them. There's two places you can go to enroll in the MasterTrack certificate program. You can start on the Coursera site, which is the link provided on this slide, or you can start on the College of Education site, which is also the link is on this slide. And once you get into the process to register and enroll in the courses, you will actually select the specific courses, EPOL 472 and EPOL 483 within the system. You'll make sure to select the MTC section. The system will not ask you about enrollment in the actual MasterTrack certificate program. It will ask you to select the courses that are offered in the program. So registration for fall 2022 is currently open, and 472 will be offered during fall term A, and registration closes August 8th. So that is coming up here soon. If you still need to register for part of term B, which is 483, or if you would like to start with part of term B, you have until October 3rd to register. Please be sure to post any questions you have in our Q&A, or you can email gradservices@education.illinois.edu with any questions that you may have.
So I believe that's me. So I want to conclude this presentation section by giving you some thoughts about why you would choose to earn a credential from us, why the College of Education, why the University of Illinois online programs. So next slide. So the University of Illinois is a top tier research university, and I'm sure many of you are aware of it. What you may not be aware is that we were ranked number 3 by US News and World Reports for our online master's programs. So this was the 2022 ranking, and 2021, we were ranked number 3 as well. So we're really very well regarded for our online master's programs. And as Gina mentioned, this Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate specifically comes to you at a subsidized rate of $290 per credit hour. So it's affordable, and you really are taught by world-class faculty here. As I mentioned, it's a top tier research university, so all our faculty have very rich research agendas, and they have many extensive experience teaching. They're very committed to the program. We also focus on online engagement. We want students to be engaged because engaged students learn the best. And your peers in class, they really come to you from different parts of the world. As you've seen even here in this presentation, we have people from all over the world with very different backgrounds, with different work experiences. So not only will you be learning great quality content, but you'll also be learning from your peers who come from very rich and diverse backgrounds, and that will add greatly to your learning experience. And you will have access to the extensive resources at the University of Illinois for students, including library and so on and so forth. So it is really, we're committed to offering you a great learning experience here at the University of Illinois. And one more slide, I think, Travis. So again, to underscore, we hold rank number 3 at the University of Illinois here for our online education master's programs. So we hope you will come to us here at the University of Illinois and join the Instructional Design MasterTrack certificate program. Enrollments are going on right now. And as I said, we are limiting each cohort to about 100 seats. So seats are limited. Go ahead and enroll. I know you have a lot of questions. We've been trying to answer some of the questions here in the chat and Q&A. So we'll try and get to as many questions as possible. We have 20 minutes, so we're hopeful we'll get to the majority of your questions. So let's see, maybe we'll start with some of the questions in the Q&A portion. Debbie, there were a few there that I thought maybe you could handle best.
Sure. Let's see. Do the course projects need to rely on current or past related work experience? I can tell you that everyone who has come and participated in the courses come from a wide variety of work experience, and some have instructional design experience and some do not. One of the nice things about this particular course is that if you are looking to make a transition into instructional design. I know right now, at least in the United States, instructional design is a hot job right now. And so there were several teachers that were looking to gain this credential so they could make the leap into the corporate world from public education or education in general. There were several students that were new to instructional design, but were looking to make a career transition. So they were looking for that credential as well. There was also experienced instructional designers who were looking for a very valuable credential coming from University of Illinois to substantiate their skills along with their experience. So there's quite a breadth and depth of experience, whether you're new or not, we will work with you. And the nice thing too about working with groups is that when you do have members of your group who may be a little more experienced, they are great to help coach you, and I really stress that particularly in 472 because it is a learning environment and we are all learning together. So I don't want you to be afraid if you feel that you don't have that experience. We all start at the beginning, right? So sometimes you just have to take that leap. Did I answer that question all right? to Karen? I hope so. Okay, great, great. Emily, let's see, are all assigned readings online? Do we need to purchase any books? In 483, the textbooks that are used are electronic. In 472, there is a textbook that is used that does need to be either rented. You can rent it through Amazon. You can also look to used online bookstores to purchase the book. It is by Smith and Reagan. And I talked to you a little bit about ADDIE. What's nice about the Smith and Reagan book is they put the process into the ADDIE framework. So it kind of takes you into a little bit deeper reading. It gives you nice practical examples. We'll look at theory, we'll look at analysis, and it's really a nice reference book to have. It runs around $50 if you decide to purchase it or rent it. Let's see. For Robin, do we need any special particular software programs or materials to complete these courses? Zoom, just like you're on right now, all of our live sessions are through Zoom. And again, we will be meeting live every single week for the 8 weeks each course. So that is really the only software or programs that you'll need to use. In 483, you will be exploring different e-learning technologies, but you don't necessarily require any special software or programs or materials for that course. Let's see. I think that answered Bernadine's. Will you discuss what tech we might need, and will you provide the licenses? Yeah, there's no real licenses other than the Zoom technology. I will say this, as long as you have a University of Illinois address, email address, you can use LinkedIn Learning, which is really nice if you're looking to learn a few things about some different learning technologies. It's a great place to start, but there's no special technology that's required for these courses. We will be exploring about all of those different types of technologies and how you would use them to create engaging and effective learning environments. Let's see. So Noelle, so could you explain the difference between taking this through Coursera versus directly from U of I, or is Coursera just the online platform we'll use? So go ahead. Oh, I see. Gina is typing the answer. Good. Okay, great. Thank you, Gina. Anonymous attendee, if I'm currently a SME, which if you're not familiar with that acronym, that is a subject matter expert, what would this coursework and certificate add to my skill set? If you're a SME, that does not necessarily mean that you're an instructional designer. Subject matter experts are the people that instructional designers will go to consult with them about course content and different types of learning strategies. So if you're not currently an instructional designer and you don't have the theoretical background or the different frameworks to actually design instruction, then this course may be a valuable skill set for you. Bernadine, does that mean our portfolios will be about the planning stage rather than actual completed training. So your portfolio will have a welcome page. It will have about me page. So we'll want to know a little bit about you. And then what you'll do is with your major instructional design group project, you will capture some of the analysis, your learning analysis, your contextual analysis, but then you'll also capture your unit. You'll be designing within this group project your own particular learning unit. And so you'll focus in on that. And you can include your artifacts that you develop for your instructional unit. You can tell what your instructional unit is about. So it will really showcase what you have put together and developed for a designed instructional plan. Does that make sense, Bernadine? I hope so. And then Katie, I was wanting to do this program through my employer. Is that possible? Can the homework projects be shown through work projects? The group project is what you will be focusing on. And so the answer is yes, no, and maybe. If you can present to your group a relevant work project that maybe that you see a need in your own workplace and your group is all for it, then definitely yes. I had several groups this last spring term that did just that. They saw a need in their own work environment, and then their group worked together to develop a training. Now that this project is only 8 weeks in length, so don't think that you're going to go save the world. That's not necessary, but it will give you a real foundation that you can then continue to work on your instructional design project after the course is over. But it'll give you the fundamental and the framework for whatever it is that you want to develop. Definitely. What is the estimated weekly time commitment for this certificate? The main focus is going to be your instructional design project. Depending on the reading, there is reading involved, weekly readings, and then also your instructional design project. If you're working on a group as well as your own, I would estimate it to be probably 15 hours plus or minus a week when you tie in the readings. Some of the things that we'll be doing that I'm putting more in an engaging classroom format to reduce some of the workload as far as writing for you, but the project, the instructional design project, is the main feature, that and your e-learning portfolio. And I've tried to create a balance each week so that when it's time for your instructional design portfolio to be submitted for feedback, you won't have anything else to concentrate on except for getting that ready for submission. So I've really worked hard this go round to try to create a balance for you. I understand there are a lot of different competing priorities, and especially when you're working in groups, you have to try to balance your work lives with your own lives, and so we try to be real about that. So I hope that helped answer that question. Okay, no other questions?
aren't
You're
any
very
other
welcome.
There aren't any other questions in the chat, but I think you covered this already. But one question that was asked for the projects in the courses, Debbie, are they all group projects or are some of them individual?
So the group project will have two components. So you will work on 472. You will work together with your group for the first, I want to say the first 3 or 4 activities, and then you will work to develop your own core unit within that broad topic of a training unit that will be solely your own. So you will kind of branch off a little bit, and then you'll come back together and you will work with your group to put that design document together. So it's a little bit of both, a little bit of group work, a little bit of independent work. Your e-learning portfolios are completely independent. So the time that you'll spend is with your e-learning portfolio. The first 2 milestones are really relatively easy. You will register with Digication. We use Digication through University of Illinois. That is free to all the students. And you will create your welcome page. You will create your About Me page. And then as you get into the development of your instructional design project, you'll add an additional page on your particular instructional design project. And then that will also thread over into 483, where you will add some of your e-learning technology to your e-portfolio as well. Did that answer your question? I hope. So yes, the group project is primarily, but there are some individual assignments. There will be some asynchronous postings as well. Those are generally simple questions about maybe some of the reading for that week, and that you'll just reply and to the question. Great. Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you for all the questions, everyone. We are getting close to the top of the hour. As you can see on the slide still here, if you have other questions, you can reach us at gradservices@education.illinois.edu after the presentation. This recording will get sent out to everybody who registered today. So if you missed anything or want to watch it back a second time, it will be there for you so that you can do that. Just want to let everybody know we're about to wrap up. If anybody has any last burning question they would like to get answered.
Let's go ahead, Travis.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to answer the 4 to 7 months question.
Yeah, go ahead. I saw another one which I thought we could answer, but you go ahead first. Sure.
So we say 4 to 7 months. So if you take both courses in the fall, for example, so if you sign up for 472 and 483 this fall, it'll take you 8 weeks for each course. By the time all that gets done, just under 4 months if you're taking it in the same semester. But if you take a break in between 2 of the classes, or say you start one of the classes in the spring and then take another one in the fall, it could take up to 7 months. So that's why we say 4 to 7 months.
So if you want to finish it in 4 months, then start now, and fall, you can do the 2 courses back to back and be done by December. Or you start in the spring in January and you can be done by May. So you can finish it in 4 months if you just plan it that way. So start now, really. Oh, one other question was, when will I know about being accepted? So for this program, when you register, you will get a confirmation after that. So very fairly soon, in about a week or 2 weeks or so, you should hear back with a registration confirmation for the courses. Yes, you can start in October and then finish in what is it, in March. So that's another option too. So that is why we say 4 to 7 months. But if you start in October and you finish in March, that'll be 4 months too. So that's yet another variation of the scenarios that we presented to you. All right, Travis, I'll leave it to you to wrap it up.
Sure. So thank you all again for joining us today for this webinar on the Instructional Design MasterTrack Certificate with the University of Illinois and the College of Education. Thank you to everybody from the program and online programs who joined us today. Thank you for everybody and their interest in the programs. If you have questions that we did not get answered today, again, you can reach us at gradservices@education.illinois.edu, and we hope you'll consider enrolling in the program and joining us at the University of Illinois. Have a great day.